Hi guys, my name is Mama Tamsana Eka and the name of my group is The Body of Work. My group mates are going to introduce themselves according to the segments they are going to be each presenting. Many people have their own opinions and ideas about gender in our society, but theorists give us a better and clearer perspective on gender. Gender is a social classification based on one's identity. Hence, this is the chart that we are going to use to illustrate views on gender according to theories. First theory we're going to look at is the which is involving the study of social factors, and we're going to move on to the functionalist, which is also known as the structural functionalism, which is a theory that was derived from two writings by two theorists, which is Duquesne and Parsons. And the third theory is the conflict theory, which is also known as Marxism, that was derived by Marx as well as other sociologists, which is Weber, Mills, and Gombrowicz, as well as the critics.
I'm Edgewood. As my introducer has said, that we are going to discuss these four theories, and I'm going to define gender according to the views of gender according to sociologists. We know that gender, we have different cultures, and we are looking at gender in the different perspectives. We have the Western culture, and we have the African culture. So I'm going to be looking at gender in the perspective of the African culture because I grew up in Africa. So we had the people who were called the hunter-gatherers, and they're the ones who implemented the norm that is saying men are the providers of the home and women should look after the home. Since this was implemented because the men are physically stronger, so they were given the aggressive roles, like going for hunting and for warfare, since we know that Africa has experienced the wars before. So the men had to look after the home because of their strength. And because of their physical strength, this norm that said that the men should look after the home was institutionalized. Even if the physical strength was no longer needed, but it was taken for granted that men should be the breadwinners of the home and women should look after the children. So I'm going to elaborate what I've been saying by going through these pictures. We have the first picture, which is a boy and a girl, and it says big boy and little cute girl. We know, as I said, that the men, since they are strong, that's why they are saying that this is a strong boy. He's going to grow up being stronger and taller, like a beast. So little cute girl, women stay at home, look after the children, and they have all the time to look pretty. The second picture, we are looking at these gender roles according to the playing of the children. We can see that the guy is riding a skateboard, and the hobby of the girl is to stay indoors and start to sew whatever there is. But this picture is different from all. The reason why I like this picture, it shows that it's not because of the physical strength or what to work outside of the house, but it's because it is a norm that is, we've let the system in the world to tell us that these things are important. That a guy must work, a boy must work outside, and a girl must work indoors. We see that we have different genders working in the garden, planting, and the guy is holding up a plant, and the girls are the ones who are planting. It's like this man is telling these girls that this is how you should do it. And here, this picture, why I like it is that we are taught that as a boy, we have to, you see, this is an old man and this is a young boy. This old man is teaching the boy how to plant, actually to work in the garden. And this last picture, and the mother is washing the dishes, and the girl is helping her. And we have we have the father of the home who is just watching, reading the newspaper, and this picture is similar to this one. Yes, a girl must work in the kitchen, and the boy should just work in the garden. I'm going to leave the rest to my group mates to discuss about the functionalist.
Good evening. I'm Pinky Simobi. As my fellow group members have said, yes, I'm going to look at the functionalist. Taking a look at the word functional. Functional has some basic needs, which are food, water, clothes, money. There's an individual need to live above the poverty line. According to sociologists, theories that gender roles arise from the need to establish a division of labor that help maintaining the smooth running of the family along with the contribution to the stability of the society. Taking a look at the pictures that we have, almost our pictures are similar, but I'm going to explain some of them. One of the examples that men are expected to be the head of the family and looking after for his family, and women are expected to take care of their husband. Looking at this picture, a man looks like he is coming from work, and the woman is bringing all food that is ready. Looking at this picture, woman is doing all chores. She is taking care of her children. She is cleaning. She's doing ironing, like all at the same time. And functional also underpinned with the sociologists, where certain role for men and women derive from their biological differences. As we can see here, men are expected to be hunters and miners, and women are expected to be chef, cooking and housekeeping, nursing, etc. I'm going to give my fellow group members to talk about the views of gender according to my conflict. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today? I'm okay. Can you please help me to answer this question? What is gender according to conflict theorists? Like, how do they define gender? Or you'll get back to me. Okay, it's fine, no problem. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Sanalo Gupega, and I'm here to actually discuss the views of the conflict theorist based on gender. Excuse me. To understand the sociology of gender, one must firstly understand how sociologists define gender. Even though male and female and men and women are often mixed together or are often mingled together in an English context, but they actually refer to different things. They actually refer to two different things, which is sex and gender. Excuse me. Sex is understood by the sociologists to be the biological categorization based on reproductive organs. Most people fall into categories of male and female. However, some people are born with sex organs that do not actually fit either category, and those people are known as intersex. Either way, sex is just a biological classification based on a body part, whereas gender, on the other hand, is just a social classification based on one's identity. Okay, moving on. Within the sociology of gender, those of us who are actually inspired by the conflict theorists, we focus on how gender assumptions and biases about gender differences lead to the empowerment of men, and also lead to the oppression of women, and also to the structural inequality of women relative to men. The conflict theories see gendered power dynamics as built into social structure and thus manifested throughout all aspects of a patriarchal society. Some women depend on men for attainment of salary. Now back to this chart, which is what is my focus is with today. Now, when you look at this picture here, you can see that the men and these women, they are actually doing the same job, meaning that maybe they are doing the same occupation. But the funny thing is, a man is getting a higher salary compared to a woman, whereas these people, they are doing the very same job, they are doing the very same occupation. Now, how is that possible? This is possible because the society has been built in that way. The society has been structured that the males or the men, they are the dominant group, whereas the women, they are just the subordinate group. Okay, but the conflict theorists, they say that the man in a household can also do a woman's job. When you look at this picture here, you can see that the man is doing the ironing and the woman is doing the other things. And when you look at this picture here, you can see that the man is washing the dishes. In a society, it is known that that is a woman's job, whereby a woman should iron, should wash the dishes, should clean the house, should just take care of the babies. Those are the chores, those are the house chores that a woman should do. But then the conflict theorists, they say that the man can also do that. The man can also do that. The man has also the ability to also do a woman's job. It is not entitled that's only a woman's job. A man can also do that in the house.
I am Vanessa, and I'll be taking you through the critiques of sociologists. As my group members have said that we are looking at the views on gender according to the theorists. So I can say that gender is socially constructed. We learn gender through the process of socialization. Gender is a social classification based on one's behavior, identity, and interaction with other people. And then criticism tends to be a reflection of gender inequality, whereby we're looking at the male and female having no equal standards, having no equal opportunities in education, workplace, and even in the society. Men are believed to be the head in almost all the dimensions in the society, and are believed to be the strongest, doing better jobs and strongest jobs and everything in the society. Okay, we're going to look at this picture. As we all know that men are believed to do all those big jobs. And in this picture, we have a doctor and a nurse. As we all know that men are preferred to become doctors, and females are preferred to do works like being a nurse. So this picture actually depicts that a doctor is giving orders to a nurse, of which shows that a doctor, a man, is the head in the industry. Okay, and then men, pause. I thank you.
Greetings everyone, I am Samir Sirsidisi, and I'll be looking at the critiques of conflict theory based on gender. One of the conflict theory focuses too strongly on gender and racial inequality. When you can look at this picture, it portrays more of gender inequality for the fact that these women and men are looking at different ways. And also, the conflict theories exaggerate the problems of economic inequalities, which has to do with the financial crisis. And the third criticism on conflict theory based on gender, it is that the conflict theories focuses too much on micro level factors, which are the small scales of interaction of individuals. Lastly, the conflict theories overemphasize disagreements and competition. When looking at this picture, it portrays more of competition or the agreements or the disagreements that happens between different families based on gender. I thank you.
Everyone, I would like to continue with our presentation. I would like to look forward at the critiques of functionalist theory. As we all know that there are too many critiques of functionalist theory, but in this case I would like to focus on the few that are based on gender. Functionalist theory stresses a place of harmony, and the potential of conflict and its effects are generally ignored. The research shows that specialization of household tasks by gender in contemporary families is more dysfunctional than functional. Women see family roles as restrictive. For example, in our picture, there is a family, two children and a husband and wife. They're having a heating conflict between a husband and wife. So the husband is reminding his woman that I'm the head of this family. So here, the domestic division of labor is between a man and a woman is seen as something that is natural and unproblematic. The feminist movement take a position that functionalism neglects the suppression of women within the family structure. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I'm Sianda Zamini. I'm going to conclude as my members of the group have been presenting about the views on gender according to the sociologist theorist. So I'm going to start by concluding in the functionalist perspective. The functionalist perspective of gender roles suggests that gender roles do exist to maximize social efficiency. So there are the key points that are under the social perspective. The first key point says the functionalist perspective sees society as a complex system whose parts work together to promote solidarity and stability. So this approach looks at the society through the macro level orientation and broadly focuses on social structures and that shape the whole society. Theory suggests that gender inequalities exist an efficient way to create division of labor, or as a social system which particular segment of their population is clearly responsible for certain parts of land and another segment is clearly responsible for other labor's acts. The feminist movement takes the position that functionalism neglects the suppression of the women within the family structure. These are the key terms of the functionalist perspective of gender inequality. A theory suggests that gender inequalities exist as efficient way to create division of labor or social system within particular segment of the population clearly responsible for certain acts and labor another segment is clearly responsible for other labor acts. The functionalist perspective, a broad social theory that sees a society complex system whose parts work together to promote. As I still conclude on the criticism of the functionalist perspective. Okay, the other socialization institutions can be family, such as friends, media, and schools, are playing a role in socializing children. For instance, in our families, the gender inequalities do occur in some circumstances whereby the boy will have the upper hand on other siblings, like when 6 o'clock in our homes, as we know that a girl should be indoors about 6 o'clock, but the boys could come at 7 o'clock and there'd be no problem in that. So we as the critical thinkers, we need to address those issues so that we can live in peaceful and harmonious society whereby there is no one who feel suppressed by this thing of gender inequalities in our society. So I think the best way to combat these issues is to treat everyone equally and respect others' human rights so that we can have a better community for all in South Africa. Thank you. An efficient way to create division of labor, or as a social system which particular segment of their population is clearly responsible for certain parts of land and another segment is clearly responsible for other labor's acts. The feminist movement takes the position that functionalism neglects the suppression of the women within the family structure. These are the key terms of the functionalist perspective of gender inequality. A theory suggests that gender inequalities exist as efficient way to create division of labor or social system within particular segment of the population clearly responsible for certain acts and labor another segment is clearly responsible for other labor acts. The functionalist perspective, a broad social theory that sees a society complex system whose parts work together to promote solidarity and stability. Under the division of labor, a division of labor is the dividing specialization of cooperative labor into specifically circumstances, tasks, and roles. The conflict perspective suggests men as a dominant and women as a subordinate in order to maintain power and privilege in society.